So this is one of the most popular questions that I'm asked all the time. How to break into the tech industry without a degree. And so I'm not going to give you a conventional answer because most people would say, oh, you got to start learning how to code, which is why we have so many code classes, which is amazing. But remember, the world is changing. Now we're moving from code, which will never really move away, but we're moving to low code, no code environments and applications, which means that you can develop whatever you want, a mobile app, without ever needing to learn how to code. So then what do we do with all of that? That is what I'm going to talk about today, is disrupting yourself before you're disrupted and moving to new levels of your career and your business, because all of us are becoming more and more digital. And so when I say breaking into tech with no degree, it's probably close to a path that I took myself. Although I did end up ultimately later in my years finishing my degree. I think I quit school probably 3 to 4 times because I always had a passion for hands-on startup work. So I loved and was very passionate about working in technology even before I had a degree. And it's still funny that today, the pace of technological change is outpacing education even today. And the gap is getting wider and wider between where technology and automation is going and the digital world is going. And our education system simply cannot keep up. And so what does this mean for you? It means that you have an alternative path like I did 20 years ago, right? It means that you have the ability to be able to move into these new spaces because guess what? These classes are all online now for free. Go figure, right? That companies like Google, companies like Microsoft, all of these big firms, you don't have to have a degree to go work in the tech world. And so this is an exciting time. That knowledge in the space of technology has been democratized to put into your fingertips. So what are you going to do about it? That's what we're going to talk about. So this is not a conversation about going to learn how to code. It is important. We love our software engineers. They are incredible. But there are hundreds and thousands of other jobs in the tech space that we want you to go be a part of. So let's get started. And I'm not going to start in the conventional place. No, I'm not. Because the field is so big. And there's so many opportunities. I've mentioned this before in many of my conversations, from sales to marketing to social media, now gaming, right? The metaverse has opened some big doors with virtual reality, physical reality coming together with blockchain and NFTs and all of these spaces that we're all entering into cryptocurrency. All of these amazing and incredible capabilities are opening doors for new roles. So remember, I said there are more than 100 million new job titles that will come about over the next 10 years. Jobs that you haven't even begun to prepare for. And so where do you start? You start with building a framework for yourself, a mental model for learning. Because learning now has to take on a new dynamic. Remember, there was one of my episodes, I actually talk about the S curve. I talk about the fact that our minds, we are programmed to be learners. Continuous learners. So if you are sitting in a place in your life right now where you're trying to make a decision about where to go and what to do next, stop thinking and get moving. And it starts with you understanding who you are for this season, this purpose in your life. That is number one, is in your mind. The number one thing is to reset your mindset. Listen. it is absolutely important that whatever it is you've programmed or conditioned yourself to learn and know and understand in this season and in this space, if it is not aligned to where the world is going, then you set it aside and make room for new knowledge. Make room for something new in your mind where you're telling yourself that there is nothing that you can't accomplish in these digital spaces. You were meant to do so much more than what you're doing now. And those of you who are listening to me now, you know who I'm talking to. Somehow along the journey, someone told you that the only way that you can get into the tech world was that you needed to be a developer. You needed to know how to code. You need to have a computer science degree. I'm telling you, that answer used to be yes. But now it is yes and. You can do without it because technology is moving at more of a rapid pace than our education system could ever keep up with right now. So what does that mean for everyone that received a degree? Now, it doesn't mean that you don't have the fundamentals. It simply means that now you have to take on a mindset of a lifelong learner. It means that when artificial intelligence was formally introduced to the world, to consumerization, to the enterprise, there was no degree for that. When blockchain was introduced to the world and NFTs, what we're in now, the non-fungible tokens, and being able to create digital assets and take those digital assets and being able to sell those assets, to mint those assets into the marketplace, where are you going to go get a degree for that? Where are you going to go get a degree to build out a metaverse where you're bringing in 3D worlds together with physical reality, with virtual reality, with augmented reality, being able to bring all of these together into single spaces where people can interact in ways that they never have before? Where are you going to go get a degree in that? So our system of education cannot keep up with the pace of technological change. And it means that you've got to see opportunity for yourself. What are you going to go start for yourself? What business are you going to go create for yourself? Because we can no longer set aside and just continue to be consumers. We have to own things in this space. We have to think with a legacy mindset. So our mindset has to shift to move towards new opportunities. So entering into this tech world and the work that you're getting ready to have to do, the journey that you're going to go on, that we're going to go on with you as you are moving into these new spaces, means that it's more than just learning the discipline. It's more than just sitting down and tuning into a Coursera education course and saying, I'm just going to go learn about artificial intelligence and I'm going to go off and now I'm going to go get this new job. It's much more than that. Because then you've got to be able to get into the culture and the environment and to assimilate and to become a high performer. To become the go-to person in this spaces means that you're influencing. So you have to cultivate all of the other skills, which is just as critical in a digital world, especially as chatbots and as AI and machine learning continue to dominate the world. It's our empathetic, soft set of skills that are truly going to separate us apart. So you can't work on just the hard skills and forget about everything else you need to be successful in these spaces. So get your mind right. And to be able to start to think about all the things that it's going to take. And I'm going to tell you one of those is to get rid of the people around you that are telling you what you can and can't accomplish. That's number one. See, I deal with facts when it comes to you elevating your life. And then you have what we call the crab in the bucket mentality, people who try to bring you down and everything that you want to achieve. And then you take on what they're telling you about you. And so get rid of those folks that have nothing to add to your destiny. That's first. And then the second piece of resetting your mindset has to be able for you to go in and tell yourself that there are no limitations. There's nothing that will limit you in this world. If Elon Musk can go dream it up, if Bezos can go dream it up, then you can go and think about the things that you want to bring to life into the world. And you better go get yourself a new set of friends who can help you move to your destiny. And then the third big thing with your mindset, once you told yourself what you can accomplish, once you got rid of those zeros who are not making you a hero, once you've done all the things that you need to do to know that you are an owner, you have stake in this space, it's now to take everything that you've learned all these years and go get new habits. Because that's the other thing that will drag us down. We wake up every morning at the same time. We do the same thing every day. We move to spaces the same way we always have. We wake up and look at our social media, and we're doing the same thing day in and day out and not making room for new knowledge, new capacity, new cultivation. So the first thing we're going to deal with is the mind. And then once you deal with the mind, you've got to be able to understand your purpose and your gifting. That's number 2. You have to be able to understand the original intent of why you're here. Because as I have explained many times before, the world of technology and digitization, the digital world is huge. So if you're running off doing all these things and you're not disciplined, see, purpose disciplines your path. It gives you a guide to your end state. And once you can work with your end state, it tells you what to say yes to, what to say no to. And it gives you a pattern. See, that's what this is about. Because you want to act with intentionality. You want to be deliberate as you move into these new spaces. See, you don't want to just be all around, just willy-nilly doing whatever. You want to be disciplined and focused. And so you have to do the work to invest the time. Because remember also, as you're going on your interviews, even if you are pitching your new idea to an investor, they don't just care about the technology. It's about the humanity behind it. The human being who cares about the next human being, who's creating a better world with their skills and with their business. And so that's the story you want to own. And in order to build that story, it means that you have to believe yourself in your own gifting and your purpose and your capacity to go off and unleash greatness in the world. And so that leads us to step 3. You've got to be able to take your research skills, your research capacity to a whole new level, a whole new dimension. You see, now you're entering this space of understanding the technology. But when you start to put the business implications around that, the ethical implications around that, when you start to put the macroeconomic factors and understanding the future, the micro factors that are going to impact and have implication. You know, I spoke about this in one of the masterclasses where I talked about today, we're really facing threats with Russia and Ukraine and what's happening in China as well as of today. And we're seeing the dual Cold War before our eyes. There will be implications for that. That if you can factor these things into your business, the fact that we're going to see the price of energy, gas prices, all of these micro implications from these macro factors, you've got to go beyond the technology. You've got to understand industry, understand the value chain. What do all of these implications mean for you as you are entering this market? Listen. This is about your ability not to walk in talking about technology, but your ability to influence and talking about all of the factors around it to make you an incredible technologist. Whether you're in your interview or whether you're a startup company going to an angel to get funding or a VC to get funding, let me tell you something. By you being able to understand your product in a very purpose-driven way, by you being able to understand who you are in this season, there is a beautiful attraction that happens. And your goal is to get to the spirit of people. It is not just about the product. It's not just about technology. It's not just about your knowledge. It is about your ability to connect to other people and to influence them in ways that they never could imagine before, so that they're inspired to go off and do amazing things as a result of an encounter with you. And you can't do that without cultivating yourself. Number 4, I bet you thought I was going to start with this, and I didn't. Elevating your digital intelligence, your digital quotient, your digital capacity. Most people start there. They start with learn how to do something in tech. All of the courses are free. As a matter of fact, you can learn anything you want. To be quite honest with you, one place I start is YouTube for almost everything, because there's a class out there for everything for YouTube. If you say, I am creating a landscape business and I want to be able to offer my customers a way to be able to do augmented reality of their yard, and I want them to be able to create their yard before I even come out and show me a picture of their yard in the future, it's available. Very inexpensive. So now your landscape person is a digital landscaper, and he is differentiated himself from his competition. Why? Because he went to learn. So all of these things are available to continue to differentiate you. But he didn't differentiate himself on the technology. He differentiated himself because of the people that he is helping to create beautiful landscapes so that they can truly be proud of all that they've accomplished in their life. That mission statement. See? That's where you want to be. An incredible storyteller. And in order for you to be an amazing storyteller, to inspire people in the world of tech, so that your job is not so hard, because people will take you along the journey. They'll teach you anything that you don't know. If you can inspire them, connect to them, and influence them, that's what you want to cultivate in yourself while you're building your digital skills. So we really want you to take advantage from YouTube to Coursera to Microsoft has an entire AI school. Google has multiple classes. The list, AWS has free classes. There is no excuse as to why it is that you can't determine what it is that you want to go accomplish and go off and get certifications that will land you your next big tech opportunity. And number 5 is critical, because now that you understand your purpose, you understand your giftings, you've written all of this down, you have a powerful story to tell, you understand the technology, and now it's about going off and deploying yourself, deploying your gifts to spaces who need you. And that starts with your social networks. And I will give you a perfect example on LinkedIn. I'll ask you, are you connecting to new people in your social world and elevating your social network? Another question I'll ask you. When have you written your blog about your perspective about where the world is going? You've done your research. You're now an expert. And so are you writing your blog? Are you writing on the Medium and putting an article out there? What are you doing in order to deploy yourself? So the next big thing, now that you have this knowledge, is who are you helping? You know, you can go to startup communities, help them. It's called pro bono, but you're investing in them, and then you're putting what you've done for them on your portfolio. What about volunteer match? All of the companies that are out there that you can go volunteer for nonprofits, they need your skills. Now you can take your skills and start to learn how to put them into application. Because that's the other thing I get asked is, Teresa, now I've gone out, I've learned all this stuff, but I've never worked, I don't have a job in it, and I can't get a job because I don't have the experience. I don't want to hear that anymore. You have plenty of opportunity to go get the experience. Plenty of opportunity to go volunteer for nonprofits who need what you have to give, and then they'll give you a recommendation. That startup that you're investing in, you can go do that 2 or 3 times and find companies that need you and can leverage your talent. So there is no excuse with all the wealth of opportunity out here. What it is you got to get it out of your head that everything you do, you got to get paid to do it. Well, let me tell you something. There is delayed payment on investing in yourself. It might be delayed, but what you're doing is you're investing in others to lift them up so that they can give you the experience that you need so you can go off and continue doing the great things that you're going to be doing in these spaces. And that leads us to number 6. Now, when we were just talking about you're over here cultivated now, right? You're cultivated. And that's what I love. To see you all ready to go to get out here and to help empower other people. And that's the next big thing, because what happens is you begin to build a brand. And remember, your brand is socialized now on platforms. And so who you are to others, who you've become is on full display. As we wrap up this topic, I want you to think about something. I want you to think about the fact that you now have all of this greatness inside of you that's ready to be unleashed. And now you're going and you're imagining yourself helping startups, helping organizations that are in the nonprofit arena, helping even your friends who want to start up their business or bring an app. And now you're putting your skills into the environments around you, cultivating others. That, my friends, is the secret sauce to all of this coming to life. It's about the fact that you're taking your purpose, you're unleashing your purpose, you're moving others around you to the next level while you move to the next level. And we're doing it all together as one unified force. That's the power, my friends. And now, number 7. We wrap it all up with the fact that you now got to take all of that greatness and now you got something to offer your network. See, people are always asking, Treese, how do I get a sponsor? How do I attract the right mentors? Well, let me just be honest with you. Remember, we talked about brutal honesty in one of our sessions here. You don't get a sponsor. Sponsors are attracted to you. I remember earlier, I talked in one of the episodes about your aroma, your spirit of attraction, that when you walk away from the person, they're so enamored by you and what you have to offer that you've left this beautiful impression on them. And they're so compelled to move on your behalf. Mentors is a different story. Building your personal board of directors, a different story. But these days, if you don't have something to offer to your network, it's very difficult for them to stay engaged with you. So now you come to your mentor. They ask you who you are. You say, I was in one industry, I pivoted, and now I'm in the digital industry. I've gone in and I'm doing the training, but I'm going beyond that. I'm helping companies around me to be great. I'm helping myself to be even greater so we can go off and cultivate greatness together. So I want to offer to your network something of value. What's important to you? So you're not coming and just showing up with you. You're coming with an entire suite of capabilities that you yourself have cultivated over the last, and we're going to say that you're going to do this over a 6-month period because it's not a long time before you're able to bring all of this greatness into the digital world. But it starts with you investing in you right now, this very moment. And we cannot be more excited to welcome all of our new friends into the digital world because it's lonely without you. So grateful that we are taking this journey together. And so, if you want to learn more, follow me on Treese the Unicorn. Now let's go.